Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on pharmacovigilance, how technology enables the overlooked pillar of drug safety. My name is Pooja, and I'll be a facilitator for this session. We're thrilled to have you all here as we delve into how new technologies are transforming pharmacovigilance, ensuring safer drugs and better patient outcomes. In today's session, we'll cover several key areas on how modern technologies are enhancing the speed and accuracy of safety data analysis. A quick note before we begin. So this session is recorded and all participants are on mute. Should you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A section to submit your questions, or you can also put your questions in the chat screen. Please ensure your devices are on silent mode, and if you encounter any technical issue, do not hesitate to inform us in the chat. A recording of this webinar will be posted on our website and will also be emailed to all who have signed up. We'll start with a quick introduction to our speakers in Cloudbyz. This will be followed by in-depth discussion on today's topic, and we'll conclude with a demo of a pharmacovigilance solution and a Q&A session. Now let's introduce our speakers. First, we have Dinesh Kashyap. With over 25 years of experience in digital transformation, CRM strategy, and life sciences commercial and clinical research, Dinesh is the CEO and digital strategy advisor at Cloudbyz, a unified clinical trial management platform on Salesforce. He holds certifications from MIT, Johns Hopkins, and UC San Diego, and is a Salesforce certified administrator. Dinesh specializes in helping life sciences organizations adopt the latest advances in business and technology, from drug development to pharma commercial strategy. His passion lies in improving patient outcomes, enhancing clinical operations, and driving digital transformation for the healthcare and life sciences industry. Should you need to reach him, you can email him on dinesh@cloudbyz.com. Our next speaker, Kapil, has over 12 years of experience in global pharmacovigilance and clinical research. Kapil possesses a diverse skill set that includes pharmacovigilance, medical writing, drug safety analysis, and risk assessment. His expertise extends to clinical trials, aggregate report writing, clinical site management, regulatory submissions, project management, and client handling. Kapil's extensive background equips him with the ability to navigate complex safety challenges and drive efficient, compliant safety processes. Should you need to reach him, you can email him at kapil.pateria@cloudbyz.com. And I'll be your facilitator and host for today. I work at Cloudbyz as in marketing. Moving on to introduction to Cloudbyz. So I would like to introduce about Cloudbyz, a leading e-clinical solutions provider. Our platform is one of the fastest growing unified clinical trial management solutions in the market, designed 100% on the Salesforce platform, offering a unique blend of scalability, modularity, and configurability to suit your specific business needs and processes. At Cloudbyz, we believe in empowering organizations of all sizes, right from Fortune 500 companies to agile startups, to streamline their clinical trials, optimize operations, and accelerate the delivery of life-saving therapies. Our comprehensive suite of products covers the entire spectrum of clinical trial management, including our products, which is the CTMS, our flagship product that facilitates seamless end-to-end project management for clinical trials, the CTBM, and an essential tool for managing the financial aspects of clinical research, the ETMF, our robot document management solution ensuring compliance and efficient data handling, the EDC, our powerful data management platform, and lastly, safety and pharmacovigilance, a product in discussion today that streamlines safety monitoring during and after clinical trials. We also pride ourselves on our innovation with the recent launch of our AI-powered platform, the clinicalwave.ai, featuring tools like ClinRedact, ClinExtract, and ClinDICOM, which helps clinical trial users efficiently handle PHI and PII data across trial documents and DICOM images. Beyond our innovative solutions, Cloudbyz has been recently recognized in the Everest Group's matrix as a leading provider of e-clinical solutions, highlighting our commitment to excellence and innovation. Our products seamlessly integrate with existing systems, offering a unified workflow to ensure your clinical trial processes run smoothly and efficiently. Globally, we are present in 3 countries with our headquarters in Chicago, USA, and regional offices in Toronto, Canada, and an offshore delivery center in Bengaluru, India, allowing us to support clients across different time zones. Our solutions are fully compliant with global safety regulations, including FDA 21 CFR Part 11, GCP, HIPAA, and more, ensuring quality and security in every aspect of clinical trial management. Proudly ISO 9001 and 27001 certified, we continue to be recognized for our commitment to quality and security. We are also honored to have been featured among the top 5 emerging pharmacovigilance startups by Startup US and to be recognized by the Inc. 5000 as one of the fastest growing companies in America. For more information, please visit our website cloudbyz.com or reach out to us at info@cloudbyz.com to book a personalized demo. We look forward to helping you bring life-saving therapies to market faster and improve patient lives worldwide. Now, without further ado, I'd like to hand it over to our first speaker, Dinesh Kashyap. Dinesh, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Pooja. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today to learn how automation can benefit drug safety management. So, as a brief introduction, so we'll go through the basics of the drug safety and pharmacovigilance. As we all know that the drug safety is basically a monitoring and detecting and preventing drug reactions and ensuring the benefits of the drug outweigh the risk throughout its life cycle. And the same thing goes to the pharmacovigilance, like regulatory monitoring the performance of the drug in the post-market surveillance. The key objectives are protect patient health and safety and ensure regulatory compliance with the global health authorities and improve public health and detecting the new safety signals and preventing the harm. So the core processes which are involved in the drug safety and pharmacovigilance are like, case intake and monitoring and observing the adverse reactions throughout the clinical trial settings as well as the post-marketing. And also once the case is received, then processing of such cases and regulatory reporting and signal detection and safety evaluation and risk management and safety communication. So these are the core process areas where the end-to-end the drug safety process are involved. And let's take a look at it at a bird view about how these processes come together as an operation from the end-to-end standpoint, right? So if you look at it at a bird view standpoint and from the PV and a process standpoint, so we have a case input where cases are coming in from various sources and locations, whether it is HCP call center, whether it is spontaneous reports, or through a literature monitoring, or a clinical studies which are being conducted as well, post-market studies. And also the process also involves in the case intake, in the structured way of taking the cases and making sure that, the case intake, has a unified way of, cataloging those cases. And then from there, processing those cases based on various, standards, in terms of the medical input, the review, and the case triage and data entry, and also collecting any kind of documents, queries, and preparing narratives and preparing regulatory and closing the case, and then eventually submitting those cases into regulatory agencies and authorities, and also making sure that over a period of time, understand the performance of that particular drug and also identify the signal in terms of how that signal, the efficacy levels as well as the trend of that particular adverse reactions which are happening, so that way you can actually use that data to prevent such adverse reactions happening in the future. So it's kind of gives you a very high level bird view about the end-to-end the processes which are interconnected to automate end-to-end the drug safety process and pharmacovigilance process. And so now we will review and look at it each and every aspect, how a platforms, cloud-based platforms, which are rich in workflow automations, can streamline and enable and bring in efficiency and productivity and compliance accuracy throughout this process, and to see how we can automate these end-to-end process in this PV. All right, so let's look at the challenges in traditional drug safety management. So typically, what we have seen in the traditionally when in the management of the case intake process, right? So we have seen, I'm sure many of you can relate to. There are a lot of manual entry which happens, and it takes time, and it takes a lot of human errors, and oftentimes, right? So the right coding of that particular case might not be accurate because of the errors which are being captured at the time of the data entry level. So it's a human intensive, right? And it also requires a huge human effort. At the same time, it's prone to errors, right? So that error may cause huge delay and inaccuracy of that particular case processing or event processing, right? Maybe there could be a situation where the wrong medical codes are being used because of the data entry issues, or maybe there may be a delay of submission or closure of the such case, and involving a lot of back and forth in terms of correcting and adjusting such errors in the throughout the process. And it might eventually impact the timeliness of the regulatory reports and resolution of such adverse events, and it may impact patient safety as well, right? And also we are seeing, so again, as we discussed earlier, so there might be a delay because of the not accurate, data being captured, not accurate, mapping or processing is being done, and the compliance is an issue. So now looking at not just one, regulatory standards, but given that drug may be used in multiple countries and subject to multiple country regulatory agency standards. So oftentimes, one process might not work because each country or each agency may have a different requirements, whether it is in terms of the frequency of filing, whether it is a data quality checks which are needed in terms of the accuracy levels, and also making sure that the data preparation is required to meet certain agency requirements as well. Now, if the data is not accurate and is not ready for submission of multiple agencies, that's a huge, impact in terms of the timeliness and the quality of that particular, processing standpoint, right? And also, because of the, high volume of the data, right, difficulty in managing the large volumes of safety data is also a challenge. And so these are the challenges we have seen. And many of these challenges, where workflow can help to address or minimize these challenges and errors. And that's what we're going to discuss in terms of the various aspects of the automations. So let's look at the role of the technology in the drug safety, right? So, and how technology can transform the entire drug safety and PV management standpoint, right? As many of you have been hearing that, right? And there has been a lot of talk about artificial intelligence. We'll go through that, how artificial intelligence can help and aid automate some of these pharmacovigilance and drug safety processes. And cloud technology has been there for a while now, but only recently the not only the cloud platforms and also the workflow, the very rich workflow capabilities which come with its cloud platforms can also enable seamless automation of the PV process areas as well as the drug safety areas. So we look at it again, these are the two major elements which can bring in huge efficiency factors by automating a lot of these routine process activities. And also, this automation also reduces human errors, which we talked about earlier, and also boost productivity. It's very, very important, right? So because especially when there is a high volume case are coming in, and the seamless, process automation can save significant productivity boost for the entire PV operations. And also, because of the automation, we can also make sure that the data is enriched and quality, and also because it can bring in any missing information and alerts and notifications to make sure that those data inconsistency issues are resolved. And that basically boosts the compliance as well. So in terms of making sure that it enhances the compliance, and also the entire end-to-end process digitization helps to make sure that the not only automation, also compliance and quality improvements for that particular safety data. And bringing all of these things together in terms of the automation and as well as the compliance And bringing this data together in one platform also helps to gain a real-time visibility into the data and also make right decision at the right time. So that way, the real-time insights are extremely important to make sure that, the real-time decisions can be made, and also bringing in and monitor such, data quality and process automation, which basically enriches and brings in the productivity in terms of the drug safety process automation. And there is a significant opportunities leveraging the technology across the board, right? So from end to end, and both, not only from the cloud platform and cloud workflow standpoints, also leveraging AI use cases into the drug safety operations as well. Yeah, so let's look at the, some of the, use cases, where automation can help significantly, right? There are many more, there are many more use cases which we can discuss, but, just to go through a few very high impact use cases. So one of the area where the automation can help is the case intake and case triage, process, where, as we discussed earlier, the case intake is a huge, manually labor-intensive task, and oftentimes it requires a huge amount of back and forth and data collection, which AI automation can aid to collect accurate data much faster, and also triage the cases based on various conditions, whether it is a medical condition, whether it is the severity of the case, and so on and so forth. And it can also automate the entire intake process and also the case classifications as well. Even further, right, you can, as soon as the adverse event comes in, once the all the information is captured, the workflow systems can also automatically create series of tasks, and which can be assigned to the case processing teams to make sure that what are the activities they need to perform as per the standard operating procedures. So that way they're proactively informed, and all of the team members can plan their activities, so that way that they can process those cases much faster, much more efficiently. And also the automation can also help bringing in signal detection and signal management, where artificial intelligence driven signal detection can identify early risk identification as well. And also it can look at, where based on the various case parameters, it can also detect and also help aid those automation improvements, and also detect those particular signals from the risk management standpoint, so that we can better plan those, risk management plan. It can also help the risk management plan and also the automation, further automation of such cases as well. And the case processing, throughout the case processing, whether it is a medical coding, right? So the workflow tools based on the AI solutions, so you can actually automate medical coding, for example. You can also automate automatic generation of the narratives, the preparation of the cases, for example, for the submission readiness. So all of those cases processing is a huge potential for automation and also use of the AI to bring in further, streamlined, way to, process those cases as well, right? And also regulatory reporting, so seamless reporting to regulatory authorities, especially, preparing the regulatory submissions, various frequencies, so the workflow automations and the AI solutions can automatically prepare these submissions based on various criteria, based on various timelines, for example, and also based on target regulatory agency requirements as well, right? So and the workflow tools can greatly help and aid automation of such things, which brings in not only huge productivity gains, and also the accuracy levels and the quality levels improvement throughout the process as well. So those are the, on the end-to-end automation areas which, can significantly help in the drug safety process areas and the pharmacovigilance process areas. Coming to the end-to-end workflow automation standpoints, again, and one of the significant aspect which really, really helps to bring in much more efficiency is integrating various systems, right? So oftentimes, electronic data capture systems may be used during the clinical trials context, whether it is a pre-market or post-market scenario where post-market studies are being conducted, the safety studies or post-market surveillance studies, and also the clinical studies which are pre-approval stage. Clinical, any adverse events comes in, it can be automated to bring in and leverage the efficiency or workflow automations which are involved, for example. And also making this particular adverse event data available to CTMS systems can, like medical monitors and site monitors, CRAs can get real-time visibility into what is the status of that particular adverse event, which may have happened for certain subjects, for example. And it can also help, real-world evidence data team to understand where those issues are and gain the real-time visibility, and also streamline those data points in integrated systems as well. And of course, from the safety standpoint, right, bringing the safety data across unified, really helps to bring in the accuracy of the data, the seamless automation and process automation, and also the real-time insights, and to gain that visibility so that the teams can make right decision at the right time. Centralized platforms for automated safety operations, right? So it's very hugely important because one of the challenge, we face is the too many silos of the data, which is very difficult to automate, very difficult to bring in the efficiency which is needed. Centralized platform can help us to enable the data automations, right? It can enable workflow automations. It can enable real-time alerts and notifications, and so that way operations team can make right decision at the right time. Bringing these things brings in a huge productivity gains. And also, bringing in these, data into one single unified platform also eliminates, data silos and any inconsistency with the data, right? So especially the flow of information across multiple teams, right? Whether it's a clinical team or post-market surveillance team, medical affairs team, so on and so forth, they are looking at the same version of the data, so which basically improves the quality and consistency of that particular data. So that gives huge confidence in terms of the data accuracy levels, and also gives improvement in terms of the being compliant with regulatory agency requirements as well. This basically increased efficiency, right? So it reduces huge manual workload and improves compliance, significantly, and also helps faster decision making and response times to the emergency safety signals. So these are all the end-to-end workflow automation opportunities and the benefits. And we'll go through in more details about overall the benefits of the end-to-end workflow automation. So in addition to workflow automation, the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities in the pharmacovigilance bring in huge significant opportunities for us to further automate and improve the productivity. Number one is, as we are all learning about, the use of AI agents across the multiple business areas. And using AI agents for automating the case intake can bring in significant improvements in the efficiency, right? And so that's, can also bring in huge productivity gains from the case intake process standpoint, right? So you can also look at using these AI agents can automate, quite a bit of, information gathering activities, which are huge, significant improvements. And also machine learning models, right? For example, the early detection of the adverse drug reactions, for example, and also looking at the certain patterns, and also mapping, certain medical codes for based on certain conditions, for example, many of such cases, right? So the machine learning models can also help. And natural learning, language processing, for example, automating unstructured data processing. Examples could be like, you can actually extract the data from various unstructured documents. Literature search is one example, right? In extracting the data from health records, for example. And these are all the, use cases where, NLP and machine learnings can help. And also in terms of, using the same techniques, You can also extract the data from CMs or any other health documents, and also you can also redact some of the source documents. For example, especially in the clinical context, when health records are received as part of the adjudication standpoint, and you can actually redact automatically using machine learning. All the PII information can be redacted automatically as well. For example, just to give you an example, say, for example, a particular adverse event is coming from a clinical site on a particular study, and sites can upload any supporting source documents, and the system can automatically redact all the PI information, so making sure that it's compliance with all the blending requirements of that particular clinical study. So these are the couple of quite a number of practical examples where AI and machine learnings can help in pharmacovigilance and drug safety, process areas. So on the technology, how, and the regulatory compliance standpoint, so in how technology can help regulatory compliance automation. So here, if you can look at it right from the, automation simplifies compliance with FDA or EMA or any other regulatory agencies, which basically means that, the automation can, help to prepare a data in a much more completeness, making sure that all the validation checks are being implemented through the automation, and making sure that all the conditions for each agency, what are the requirements of each agency for the, for various types of submissions, whether it's the routine submissions, whether it's a, aggregate reports and so whatnot. And you can actually automate, or you can codify all of those different requirements, and you can into a workflow automation, and systems and platforms can enable those automation for each of these regulatory agencies. And the data integrity and the security is also very use cases where we can actually check these data integrity points, and the systems can automate and check those integrities, and the completeness of the data and the security of that particular the data points, and so that way it can be much more complete when it comes to submission ready standpoint. And also how technology helps companies stay ahead of the changing regulations, right? So not only you can automate any certain agency requirements at any point of time, but you can also make certain changes as and when regulatory requirements change. For example, in the case of European EMA, when the process have been constantly changing, right? They're from MedDev to MDCG, for example, right? There has been constant changes which are coming in from various regulatory agencies. In such, whenever there is a change in the regulatory requirements, you can also use these technologies to accommodate such regulatory changes as a workflow automations. These are kind of a point and click automations where you can actually configure and make these configuration changes as and when those regulatory changes happen throughout the life cycle too. So kind of using this technology to make those changes will significantly improve the productivity, efficiency, and the quality and the compliance levels as well. And especially the cloud-based safety platforms, such as Salesforce, and where our cloud-based safety and solution is built on top of, offer scalability and the flexibility and configurability of any specific safety processing needs. For example, it could be a automation, not only the automation, but also meeting all the different regulatory agency requirements, automations, and it changes such regulatory requirements. It can be easily configured to meet such changes without a huge impact for the PV systems or a safety system. So in a summary, so what are the core benefits of seamless automation in drug safety as we went through, right? So basically, to summarize, right? So increased efficiency and productivity, that's a huge benefit, especially given in the high volume. And also, most important thing is, very time-sensitive process. As we all know that drug safety and pharmacovigilance, in the moment the case comes in, based on the severity level, based on the type of the adverse event level, the submission of those cases is extremely time sensitive. So therefore, this efficiency and productivity are extremely important, and in addition to the quality and accuracy, right? And enhanced accuracy and reduced human errors. It's a significant because because of the timelines constraints and the and also volume of the cases. It's extremely important to make sure that these automations can help enhance accuracy and reduce the human error, and the real-time data and the decision making is another core benefit of automation, and improve regulatory compliance, which can bring in significant improvements in the regulatory compliance, completeness, quality of the data, and also submission readiness, and also making sure that those workflow automations can cater to multiple regulatory requirements as well. The faster signal detection and risk mitigation is extremely important. If we are at the stage where the platform and technology is available to detect the signals in real time, right? In the past, this was a distant dream, but now we have a technology and the platforms, both cloud-based technology platforms, as well as artificial intelligence based solutions, which can detect these signals in real time as well. So we leveraging those can bring in huge significant improvements in the entire drug safety, right? And scalability and flexibility. So these cloud-based solutions can scale to global needs and global regulatory agencies and coverage. And also these are flexible, so that means these can be configured to meet various agency requirements, as well as the product and department requirements as well. Because these kind of automations brings in huge productivity gains, and also the cost of the managing and running safety operations becomes significantly reduced as well. So the cost reduction is a huge parameter to consider these workflow automations. And also these platforms also help enhance global collaborations and communications across teams who are globally distributed in multiple countries, multiple agencies. Using the single platform can enable close collaboration with the various diverse the teams who are located in various countries and locations. Consistent quality and standardizations are huge benefit in terms of the automation of the drug safety systems. Consistency and the quality of the data is very important. The standardization, you can actually bring in the standardization based on various regulatory requirements, process standards, your own SOPs, for example, right? You can actually automate all of your SOP components in the platforms. You can codify most of the SOP requirements, which basically brings in higher adherence to the quality standards and also SOP standards too, right? And also using these platforms, the future proofing your technology investments, and also the platforms and the process are also very important, right? So for example, let's say in the future, any your process change or your SOPs change or your regulatory requirements change, right? These platforms can also be configured to meet such requirements, making sure that this platform can evolve as your process change happens, regulatory changes happen, and so on and so forth too. So these are the core benefits of a seamless automation in drug safety, where end-to-end automations can be enabled to achieve these core benefits. So now I would like to hand it over to our subject matter expert, Kapil, who has spent quite a number of years running these drug safety operations, and also leading these and the entire operations, and he can bring in real world experience and help us, and also show very couple of use cases where we can demonstrate such automations. And we are more than happy to set up a very deep dive sessions of going through these workflow automations in more detail, if any of you are interested. With that, I would like to hand it over to Kapil. Kapil.
Thank you, Dinesh. Thank you very much for this insightful discussion on the challenges and how the automations can bring more efficiencies. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I am excited to introduce you to our Cloudbyz safety and pharmacovigilance solutions. This is designed to streamline your pharmacovigilance or the safety processes. So with our user-friendly and cloud-based platform, you can achieve greater efficiency. And if you want to bring the medications faster to the market, this systems allows you to do that, as well as ultimately this will also help you to reduce the process costs which are involved in these pharmacovigilance processes. Our solutions automates the collection processes, like processing the data, analyzing the data, also the reporting of adverse drug reactions, while it also ensures that all the compliance or essential regulations and guidelines are taken into considerations, such as 21 CFR Part 11, GCP, your GAMP 5, HIPAA, or in terms of European regulations, your GDPR. So that brings the more efficient way that when you process your new cases, when you have your aggregate data available in the processes, if you want to minimize the risks associated with these pharmaceutical products, these systems allows us to do processing as well as other automations in place on a very efficient way. So in today's demo, I will be showcasing you some of the examples, such as how the automated case triage can help your variety of teams, whether it is kind of high priority cases, serious cases, non-serious cases, how the automations in this triaging concepts can come. And if you want to reroute your cases to a respective team members or respective teams where they are experienced enough and non-experienced people doing the non-serious cases processing or serious cases processing done by our experienced team members, system can automate these processes in no time. Whereas by the same time, this also helps the people into real-time notifications. So if something is assigned to them, something they have working on, they can get a real-time notifications, as well as the automation in terms of how the interactive data visualization can help you to make better decisions on these cases which comes into the. So now I will switch my screen to showcase you the system for a demo purpose. Hope everybody will be able to see the screen. So whenever we log in into the Cloudbyz safety and PV solution, we land up on this particular page, which is our home page, which is a data visualization tool where you will have a variety of reports which can give you a real-time insight on what kind of data you are working on, which channel you are receiving this data. If it is also automated, if it is integrated, that data will also come on your home page on a real-time basis. But based on our today's uh, time point, we are discussing about the case automation in terms of triaging of the cases. So let me do one case intake manually here, where I will be creating the case simply, and it will also automatically triage to my high priority team, where they can automatically take that cases. And if you have more than one people working on these teams, they can automatically divide these cases in between. So if I incorporate some of the data points, then here I'm putting a data in terms of from which kind of data points you are collecting. These are all configurable, and these are also required based on the validations which are available inside the system. So right now I am creating a case which is on a high priority because it also meets the seriousness conditions, and it helps the users to create these cases easily and with a user friendly aspects. Now you can see this case is created. For the demoing purpose, I have stopped the duplication check process. That's where it is directly creating the cases. But once your case is created, this is the high priority records. So if I refresh this record, you will see that that particular case, which is a lactic acidosis case, which we created as a new case, it automatically falls into a priority case triage. Now, if I am also working on this case and I am a part of a priority case triage team, I can take this case on my name. Currently, the owner of this case is a priority case triage team. So if you have a separate triaging team, they can directly only take the data into the case intake, and then the respective team members, they can allocate the cases by themselves by accepting them. Now, once you accept it, it will fall into your case records. So if you can see this particular case, we have already seen lactic acidosis case. It is already automatically system has assigned this case to me. This was the one of the important aspect, that this automation brings efficiency. There is no need to work on assignment of any kind of case based on the priority. There is no team members needs to do these tasks again every day to triage these cases. Along with this, moving into the second automations, as you can see, whenever a new case which with some certain conditions are created, this particular aspects will give you a real-time notification. So as on the bell icon, you can see here the system has, because this case was marked serious in nature, system has notified the user on a real-time basis that there is a case which is allocated to you and it is a serious case, so it needs a high priority attention. So this is one of the way where you get this notification inside the system if you are logged in the system. Whereas system also sent an email such like this, and which is a configurable email for us. Any kind of emails, logos, or any other aspects you want, you will get this into the implementation. So see, at the real-time basis, system also provide you the email notification as well as the system notifications uh, based on the conditionings if they are set by your admin teams. Now, the third automation tasks which I have to take is the real-time data visualization. So if I refresh this report, this data is also available, or your data which you have created is available for seeing this and as a time of report. So the if higher team members, if your team leads, managers wants to just showcase or just want to understand how many cases you have created in a day, how much triage has been done, it can be done on a on a regular basis. System on real-time basis update these reports, as well as system has the provision that this data can also be sent to them or a particular team members or particular team in on daily basis on a time frame. So the subscription facility is also available. You can subscribe if you want this particular reports on a particular day, on a particular week, or if you want on a monthly, on a specific time. Along with this, if you want this data to be sent on a specific day of that first or any specific week, then if you want any attachments along with this, the system will also send you these attachments. You can attach these and send it to your respective team members. Now system gives the information which recipient you want. So in this particularly, you can send it to a particular user, you can send it to any particular person or a particular team member if you add it as a recipient in the system. So this this particular reporting mechanism also gives on a real time look of the system, the data which is getting inside the system. And then this decision making can also be quicker in terms of how the data of each day, each month, each week is gonna be processed. You can create your own reports and it is very user friendly. If you need as a graphical representation, this also changes based on your representation. If you need a presentations also, you can create a presentations from these on no time. Now moving into the another again on coming back on the slides with the demo, these three portion which I wanted to showcase today. Now moving into the next phase of the demonstration is the clinical wave .ai. This is our solution, innovative solution designed to enhance your safety management processes, as well as other processes where you have a PII or PHI, which is like your patient identification information or health informations in your either in documents, diacom images. You can definitely work on these. This can seamlessly increase the efficiency when you want to redact this PII information or extract the data. So individually, if you want to see, our suite of tools is tailored to meet your needs in redaction and extraction, and that ensures that the patient data is handled securely and efficiently. So firstly, let's talk about some Clean Redact AI related aspects. So this tool provides seamless data redaction capability that automates the identification of PII and PHI information from your documents. With a Clean Redact AI, you can trust that your data is secure, and it allows you to focus on what truly matters, such as patient care. If it is utilized in hospital settings, it will be easier for them to just redact the data of the patient's personal information or any health information. Moving on to the Clean Diacom AI. Next, this is the solution specifically designed for the sensitive image informations, which are Diacom images. This ensures that your compliance and protecting the patient's privacy of these complex Diacom images, which can contain thousands of one image can contain thousands of other images. So our technology allows for efficient handling of imaging data without compromising on the quality of that particular image or the security which is needed to uh, implement these diacoms in imaging forms. Lastly, we present our Clean Extract AI. This tool focuses on seamless data extraction, enabling you to easily pull relevant information from any kind of documents, whether it is a structured document or a unstructured document. So on the image only, there is a structured documentation which is like your COMs, which you can extract in commonly when you are doing a case processing. So Clean Extract AI simplifies the extraction process, and it makes the case processing and other aggregate writings in a very quicker and efficient way. Some of the use cases for clinical web AI correlating to the pharmacovigilance processes, it helps in adverse event detection and extraction. This can quickly identify the safety concerns from vast patient data. This can enable faster interventions, as well as this can enable the faster adverse event reporting. It can also help in adverse event data processing. So next use case is the source document redaction. So this ensures that safety documents have the sensitive information is protected while maintaining the compliance and reducing the human errors in doing the redaction tech. It can also help the literature article extraction, which is very important, that when you this tool process the gathering relative information from literature article which are published globally. It will help you to write your aggregate reports when you are going to write your literature sections. It can also help you writing your protocols or CSRs in clinical trials, where you will be writing a huge documents containing the literature articles. In terms of laboratory report, it can work in both the portions. It can redact the PII or PHI informations from the received source document laboratory reports while processing the cases, but it can also help you to create the laboratory data in terms of the laboratory results which are coming in these source documents via extraction mechanism. Lastly, our platform excels in clinical trial eligibility criteria extractions. This facilitates faster participation in recruitment and ethical trial management. Again, if you want to try this out, you can come on our website. You can try this product. It is available for anybody. You can just come on this and you can create your account, and all the functions of redaction, diacom, as well as extraction procedures are available for everyone. Coming back to the slide, it's trends which are going on about the safety and the pharmacovigilance aspects, what AI can bring in, and what AI can do. So as a healthcare landscape evolve, artificial intelligence definitely is playing a huge role in enhancing the drug safety, and it also helps in monitoring these adverse events. So AI can help in enhancing efficiency, compliance, and improving the quality of adverse event reporting by automating the repetitive tasks which are available and providing the real time insights. With our tool, we can have a case intake chatbots, which can help you seamlessly integrating your and bringing your cases creation through the means of collecting the adverse events data via chatbot. It can also help, our tools can also help in terms of literature monitoring and data extraction via our cleanwave.ai. Automated case narrative generation system is capable of generating the narratives based on the data which is received, redacting or the PII or PI information. This can be enabled through our clinicalwave.ai tool. This information can also be useful when you are gonna process the highly sensitive cases, like the commercial cases. Along with this, assisted MADRA coding for adverse event reporting can also be a part of the process, which can help by the AI technology to clearly process the data as well as clearly code the data, medical information, which is sometimes ambiguous in nature. So AI can help in all other aspects also, and we are also learning along with this AI. Now, I will move forward for any Q&A session. So over to you, Pooja.
Thank you so much, Kapil. Thank you so much, Dinesh, for such an insightful session. We had some couple of questions coming our way, so I just wanted to call them out and please let me know. So our first question came in from Rebecca. The question was around regarding signal management. So how frequent can the system generate this report? Is the system E to be ready? Kapil, I believe you can take this up.
Sure. So, Rebecca, system is definitely ready. E2B ready. We are already in a we are already started submission via E2B portals. So now system is ready to give you any kind of E2B reports, whether it is coming from spontaneous resources or it is coming from clinical trial cases. System is ready for that. Now your question on the signal reports, based on the data inputs in the system, how and when the data is received, via which medium it is receiving. So such as if you are receiving through email, system can analyze that data and generate the signals based on that also. So if this answers the questions, system now is ready and capable of generating this information.
Thank you so much, Kapil. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Should you need a detailed discussion, Rebecca, please feel free to let us know. We can set up a separate call. You can shoot us an email on info@cloudbyz.com. Our next question for the panelists is you keep mentioning data accuracy, but how can errors like 200-year-old patients be challenged automatically or male pregnancies? Dinesh, would you want to take this up?
Yeah, certainly. Thank you. Thank you for that question, so Pooja. So yeah, so this is a great question. It is exactly where the platforms like solutions like ours can help. Right. So you can actually set configure or set up a validation rules on a various criteria, and criteria could be if your patient population in a certain range, right, in terms of the age, you can actually set, like, say, for example, if any age which is mentioned, like beyond 90 years or 100 years or 100, like, you can actually set that limit, and in the validation workflows, and system can monitor such data inconsistencies, and it can actually stop processing that error, that case, and also it can alert the team members about inconsistent data as well, and it can also log the particular record not to be processed until that particular issue is resolved too. Right, so that is a perfect use case how automation can help, and the same thing goes to the male pregnancy question as well. Actually, can set when the particular um, sex is set up as a male or female, right? You can actually set up a workflow to make sure that, the data consistency with respect to the pregnancy field is automatically, monitored to have a right value, right? If there is a wrong value, then system can automatically alert, and it can also stop processing that record to the next level, next stage as well, right? So that is where, the systems like this can, workflow automation can hugely, improve by bringing these validation rules and automating these validation rules. And these automations can also be, based on various criteria driven too. You can make this, workflow adjustments based on various, the types of the product or classification of the adverse events, or, based on whether it's the clinical trials or the post-market surveillance. So various criteria, you can actually configure these use cases where you can actually set these validation rules, workflow alerts and notifications, right? So that way, our team can, and a system can, help to improve the accuracy of that data.
Thank you so much, Dinesh. I believe there was a follow-up comment from the participants, which was, you cannot stop a case received if incorrect. This is not allowed. Okay, I believe I recommend if we can set up like a separate one-on-one, like a separate call with the team. I think that would help address most of these questions. I can reach out to the participant. We had another person who had raised their hand during this session. Could you please like share your question or query in the chat screen, please? Okay. But
In the meantime, maybe perhaps we can address the question related to this, right? Yeah, that's a great point. You can even reject the case, or you can even stop the case to receive if the data is incorrect too. That's one of the case entry criteria you can set up at the time of data entry or a case intake itself. We can check the accuracy levels, all of these different data fields as well, to make sure that the data consistency is managed as well. For some reason, if that particular data comes into the system, there is a workflow automation rules and validation rules to make sure that the data accuracy is addressed right there as well.
So Dinesh, adding to your point, our system already have this provision. It loads the data if your data is inaccurate, when the data is coming in terms of incorrect data or missing data, that leads to a different bucket that your data will be available. It will not be vanished, that how much data you have received, it will be available. But you can follow up with your respective reporters, whoever has received or sent this information to you. So later on, you don't have to start the entire process from scratch. Already you can change your respective data, and data will be your case will be created based on the updated information.
all right. So we just have 1 more minute to go, so I'll wrap up. So as we approach the conclusion of today's webinar, I want to extend my sincere most gratitude to our speakers and all of you for your active participation. Thank you so much for taking out the time to joining us today. Before we wrap up, please remember to look out for a follow-up email containing the webinar recording, additional resources, and ways to stay connected with our community. Also, please keep an eye on our website for updates on future webinar and events. Thank you once again for being a part of this insightful journey. Until next time, have a good day.